I'm Logan Peterson, and today I'm at La Mesa Elementary School to interview my mom, Jessica Meyer, who's a teacher at the school.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Logan. I'd like to interview you and ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Of course. Thanks for coming. Hi, welcome to my classroom. This is the outside of my classroom where I post samples of my students' writing. We have Halloween's coming up, so I made a cauldron, and the bubbles coming out of the cauldron has their pictures. So as you can see on some of them, they look like they're stuck in a bubble.
I just wanted to ask a few questions about your discourse community at school, and then I wanted to showcase the difference between here and when you're at home.
And how I talk to my child at home versus how I talk to my children at school.
Yes.
Well, they're pretty similar, the way I treat both of them, because when you're working with students, you're with them more than their parents are with them sometimes. We're with them for 6.5 hours a day. So we really bond with students. We want students to be able to trust us and gain confidence from, their relationship with us. And so I treat my students like I would treat my child. And they know that. I've told them that before. Quote me on that.
Are there any limitations at work when it comes to your voice or personality? Do you ever feel like you're two different people?
I do. I have a very joking personality, and although I can joke around with my students to a degree, I can't joke with them like I can with my son because he's older. Obviously, I don't want to make a child cry. But I do like to play pranks on them, both my child and my students.
How easy is it for you to put aside cuss words here at work compared to at home? Is that even something you think about often?
I actually don't really think about it when I'm at work. I know that this is my job and I'm around a bunch of little kids, so it's kind of natural for me to not say a curse word, as opposed to when I'm at home and I'm just around my family and maybe something happens and it ends up slipping out. But here at work, I feel like I don't even think about it. The students, basically, they have to listen to me because I am their teacher. So when I ask them to do something, or when they're given some sort of instruction for their work, they know that there's a consequence if they don't do it. As for my child, there are consequences, but he also has been around me longer and knows the boundaries and how far he can push it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's when he pushes those boundaries, or you push those boundaries too far, is when I start to get upset, and maybe we'll use a cuss word here and there. But like I said, at work, my students, it all has to do with classroom management, and that's one of my that's something that I'm good at, is classroom management. So I have a lot of ways I reward them, so they're always wanting to do good and show positive behavior.
What phrases or words do you catch yourself saying at home, and vice versa?
Well, I feel like you're a little bit slow, and so I know I'm always saying stop dilly-dallying or quit horsing around. And so I know I've taken those phrases and I've used them at work. I will tell my students, stop dilly-dallying or get to work. Or I did tell them once to stop horsing around, and there was a cultural difference there because they didn't understand what that meant.
Interesting.
So I had to explain it to them.
Oh, that's really cool.
But I know a lot. Some other words that I think I use at home would be, not that one. Even though when I get that news alert, the students know that I'm getting a news alert. Reflect. I have to tell my students they need to reflect on their attitude sometimes, or their work. I feel like I use that word at home too. I'll tell my son to reflect on, you know, if he does the dishes, is that really a good enough job? Or did you not put all of your effort into it? Effort's another one. Perfect. I've told my students and my son, nobody's perfect. You know, when you're a child, there's always some type of bullying going on in the classroom, and I will tell them, no one's perfect, everyone has flaws, and just let it roll off your shoulder. Don't let them take your power away. And I know I've used that a lot with you as well, because, you know, there's been times when you've got bullied in school too, and Mama Bear comes out. Now you can put a bear up.
Mama Bear.
You can put a bear. I'm actually like a mama bear to my students too. When one of my students will come tell me something, oh, so-and-so took something from me or pushed me on the playground, I'll be like, hey, get over here. What happened? Sit out, you owe me recess. You know, because like I said, they're like my kids, and I don't want them getting hurt either.
Yeah, understandable. So I have one more question for you. What is one thing that separates your work environment from your home life? Do you enjoy being part of two different discourse communities?
I actually do. And there's not too big of or too thick of a line that separates them. I'm very proud of my son and his accomplishments, and my students know that. I have pictures of my son and things he's drawn in my classroom. And at home, as you can see down here, I get a lot of gifts from students, and I will bring a lot of those gifts home. So I have mugs that I use at home that I've gotten from my students, or I definitely will show them like the school yearbook or the class photo, and I'll sit there and I'll point out every student and talk about them and, you know, explain to my son who they are. I really enjoy when my son can meet my students. I mean, I talk about my son all the time, and they always want to meet him. And when he is able to come down and meet them, they enjoy it. They love seeing his drawings. They always ask him, oh, can you draw this for me? They love seeing his YouTube videos, and they love hearing his voices because he's able to voice different characters in movies. And I'm always going home and I'm always sharing stories with my son about my students. Like, oh, today so-and-so said this and the whole class was laughing, or today a student said that and it reminded me of you, you know. So there's not really a thick line that separates both lives, because I feel like I got the best of both worlds.
Well, thank you for meeting with me, Jessica Meyer. I appreciate all of your input that you've given me, like all around this discourse community and the discourse community you have at home. It's very insightful, and a lot of the things you said are very beautiful. So thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for coming. As you can see, I have a desk full of report cards because conferences are tomorrow. So I'll be working late tonight. I expect dinner when I get home.
Yeah, maybe.